exciting edition of Bowling Showcase, the only show to connect you with everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world, Metro Detroit. Now the bowling season, it may be winding down, but we've still got a lot of bowling action to bring you right here in your own home. We hope you've been enjoying the final rounds of our Bowling Showcase Challenge Edition as we head on to the championship match. Sterling Lanes, they've already punched their ticket to the final, but who will their opponent be? Last year's champion Woodland Lanes or Team Ansara? You'll find out next week as those two teams square off in the final Marybowl region matchup. And the following week, the exciting championship match as Marybowl region representative goes head-to-head with Sterling Lanes and a champion will be crowned. You know, there's a lot to cover in this episode, so let's get to it. But before we do, I'd like to give a shout out to a couple of our loyal viewers, a mother and daughter I recently met at Bob Evans in Warren. They watch Bowling Showcase every Saturday. Thanks for watching and for supporting Bowling Showcase. Now we're going to start the show with a look at where skill team bowling and outright fun go hand in hand. The 2018 Senior Team Tournament from Score Lanes and Taylor, right here on Bowling Showcase. The MDUSBC Senior Team Tournament was held over 3 weekends in March at Score Lanes and Taylor. During the tournament, 52 teams competed for the $900 first place prize. Each team consisted of 5 bowlers, all over the age of 55. Each team was comprised of men and or women. Some teams represented club leagues. Some were aligned with a particular bowling center. And some were just made up of bowling friends and buddies. It didn't matter how the teams were formed, they all came together with a single goal in mind: to be the best. Each team in the tournament bowled 3 games with their total handicap score used to determine a winner at the end of the 3-week event. Throughout the tournament, the bowling was competitive, exciting, and boisterous, with team members urging each other to perform their best. Some teams pushed themselves to near-perfect games. While others stayed competitive by picking up spares and strikes when it counted most. Still, other teams took advantage of the tournament just to have some good old-fashioned fun. There was laughter, good cheer, good-natured ribbing, and plenty of exceptional bowling over the course of the tournament. And here are the top finishing teams for this year's Senior Team Tournament. You can find all the tournament standings and payouts at MDUSBC.com. Congratulations to all the participants and winners of this year's Senior Team Tournament. It's great to see such a big turnout and everybody having such a great time. Just goes to show you, bowling is a lifelong sport, like we've always said. Now it's time to turn our attention to the youth of our sport, the best youth bowlers MDUSBC has to offer. Let's look in on the Junior Masters Championship from Mayflower Lanes in Redford. It was an exciting start to St. Patrick's Day as 89 youth bowlers took to the lanes in the MDUSBC Junior Masters Championship held at Mayflower Lanes in Redford. Friends, family, and fans packed the house on this Saturday to watch Metro Detroit's best bowlers aged 8 to 20 compete for the coveted Junior Masters titles. 71 boys and 18 girls took to the lanes, and what an exciting day of bowling it was. Starting with 6 games of qualifying, the boys and girls faced off in their respective divisions for the chance to move on to the stepladder finals and the ultimate title. On the girls' side, Alexandria Smeagol of Clinton Township was the top qualifier with a 6-game total of 1251. That put her into the stepladder finals and gave her the opportunity of resting while the rest of the field moved on to single-game stepladder matches. The girls' stepladder finals kicked off with Brooke Puckett of Roseville beating Grace Meyer of Oxford 205 to 151. Puckett then faced off against Stephanie Schalk of Roseville, the second qualifier. This match was a close one, but Schalk went on to beat Puckett 167 to 144. The girls' final match was now set between top qualifier Alexandria Smeagol and Stephanie Schalk. As the final game began, both bowlers got a feel for the lane conditions and tried to remain focused on the prize. Favorable lane conditions as well as both girls being at the top of their game made for an exciting match. The bowlers competed in a seesaw battle frame for frame. And as the match progressed, Schalk, reading the lanes as well as anybody today and making her shots count, got the pin count she needed and beat Smeagol with an impressive 218 to 202 win.
I made a ball change, so yeah, that was something. I started off with a different ball, and then that wasn't working, left 2 7 counts in a row, and then I opened in the second, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. So I picked up my Creed favorite ball and threw like, 5 or 6 in a row, I think, or something like that, so, or 7, I don't know, around there. And yeah, just came away.
Yeah, I mean, kind of same thing in qualifying. I just wanted to execute the best shots that I could, stay clean, and I can't complain. I stayed clean, and I shot a 200 games, so I mean, nothing to complain about. And I lost to someone who is a very good friend of mine, so it was a good match.
On the boys' side, it was Zachary Gear of Madison Heights. He was the top qualifier with that 6-game total of 1469. Finished strong in qualifying with 266 and 288, earning him the top seed for the stepladder finals. The boys' stepladder finals began with Drake Bazzi of Flat Rock defeating Mark Mead of Waterford 188 to 177. Next up, Bazzi, he fell to David Winters of Livonia with an impressive score of 221 to 195. The next rung on the ladder had Winters facing off against Jacob Kujawa of Sterling Heights. Kujawa had qualified second for the day with a 6-game total of 1296. And both Winters and Kujawa were at the top of their game going into the match. Bowling exceptionally well all day long, both bowlers continued their mastery of the lanes. Matching each other shot for shot, this match went down to the final frame. When the last frame was done, Jacob Kujawa emerged the victor with a score of 231 to Winter's 217. So now the final stage was set. Now just like on the girls' side, the final match would be between the top two qualifiers of the day, Zachary Gear and Jacob Kajawa. Gear, after awaiting his final opponent, went into the final with all the confidence and determination of a man on a mission. Bowling exceptionally well all day long, he continued to keep his eye on the prize. With the title of MDUSBC Junior Masters Champion, as well as a USBC Junior Gold spot on the line, Gear, he was up to the challenge. Kajawa, he put up a valiant effort. But Gear continued demonstrating his confidence on the lanes, and on this day, he couldn't be beat. Posting an impressive 226 to 171 final victory over Kajawa and earning the 2018 MDUSBC Junior Masters title.
I really like to thank my coaches. They helped me so much with getting lined up, and early on I tried to throw a more aggressive ball so I'd read the lane earlier, but then I realized I was leaving too many corners, and so I went to a weaker ball, the timeless, and I threw it all day. It was amazing. I couldn't ask for a better reaction, and just like my coaches for lining me up, and it stayed all day. In the finals, I never really felt super comfortable, so I was really glad on some of the fortunate breaks I got in the finals, but I'm very thankful, and I bowled well today.
Yeah, I knew I was in for it because I was on the same pair as him all day, and 5 out of the 6 games throughout the day he beat me, so I was expecting him to put up his best fight again and shoot some high games, and I just didn't come out in the finals the way I wanted it to.
Congratulations to Stephanie Schalk and Zachary Gear on their impressive Junior Masters titles. We have a lot more bowling action, including the Senior Queens and the State Senior Masters still to come in this episode. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages with more Bowling Showcase.
We've won a lot of professional tournaments. We've won a lot of tournaments worldwide. We won more in the last 10 years worldwide than any company. We make good bowling balls, and good players use our bowling balls because they can win with them.
The Bowling Centers Association of Michigan is a nonprofit trade organization that protects, promotes, and advances the interest of its members and member centers. It is the only association in Michigan affiliated with the Bowling Proprietors Association of America. Benefits include group purchasing programs, tournaments, annual convention and trade show, education seminars, and legislative representation. Interested in becoming a member? Contact Bo Gergen at 989-600-0992 or visit mibowl.com. The Michigan State USBC Bowling Association provides tournament competition to all levels of bowlers. Competition includes the Michigan State Open Championships at Fairlanes in Granville and Westgate in Comstock Park. The State Masters and Senior Masters will be at Astro Lanes in Madison Heights. Visit mistatebowl.com for entries for these tournaments and more information. Welcome back. We have a lot more bowling action to bring you, so let's get right to it with a look at the MDUSBC Senior Queens Tournament from Shore Lanes in St. Clair Shores right now on Bowling Showcase. Shore Lanes in St. Clair Shores was the site for the exciting 2018 MDUSBC Senior Queens Tournament, this being its 11th year. Initial qualifying was done by senior women bowlers 50 years of age and older with their actual all-event scores of the recently completed MDUSBC Women's Championship. The top bowlers advanced to the qualifying finals, which were held this day. Defending champion Terry Catchpole of Macomb She was the top qualifier for the stepladder finals with a 4-game total of 928 on games of 249, 227, 215, and 237. As the top seed, she had to wait through the stepladder matches for her challenger to emerge. Women's Series standout and Bowling Showcase Challenge co-host Sandy Schultz of Macomb, she was 4th and final qualifier with a total of 829. In the first match, she was pitted against Denise Mintz of Canton, and what a match it was. After battling it out, the bowler stood tied with a score of 201. Per the tournament rules, this led to a 3-frame roll-off, which Schultz won 69-56, moving her up the ladder to her next opponent, Krista Winbigler of Macomb. Even after bowling extra frames, Schultz was still on top of her game and beat Winbigler 215-189 to set herself into the final match against Terry Catchpole. The final match was now set. Terry Catchpole defending her 2017 Senior Queens title against 2016 Senior Queens winner Sandy Schultz. With these two powerful bowlers hitting the lanes, the crowd was in for an exciting match. Both bowlers giving it their all, pushing each other to have their best games of the day. Feeding off each other's competitiveness, pins were flying. However, in the end, Catchpole bowled a near-perfect game, which proved too much for Schultz, and Catchpole won the 2018 MDUSBC Senior Queens title with an impressive 279-247 win over Schultz.
And I was really honored just to make the cut, and then today coming out here, and I threw the ball so well, I felt so good all day.
You had a great shot, great one all day long. You qualified top seed. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling going into match play?
Oh, I tell you what, that's a lot more nervous, I think, than finishing 4th last year because I continued to bowl. And finishing 1st, I had to wait, and I got antsy, and I started pacing. But thank God I was able to maintain my shot.
You did.
Wow, you know, Sandy is such a strong competitor, and when we were both throwing all those strikes, I thought for sure we were both going to shoot 290 and have to go into a 3-frame roll-off.
You got
Congratulations to Terry Catchpole with her impressive victory in this year's Senior Queens Tournament. That's 2 in a row for Terry. Watch us next season to see if she can make it a three-peat. Now let's learn how to master your game and compete with confidence with Alita Sills Bowling Worlds and YourBowlingCoach.com USBC Gold Coach Michelle Mullen.
Hi, I'm your bowling coach, Michelle Mullen. Welcome to this episode's tip. While a lot of you have heard the adage, if you miss right, move right, or if you miss left, move left, a lot of you attempt to follow that, but don't really understand how it works. It's very sound advice on the typical house shot, whether you throw a straight ball or a hook, and I'd like to take a closer look to help you understand how this works. So if you're a straight ball bowler, this works well, and I'll say this as a right-hander. If you miss the head pin to the right, or what we call light, you have to adjust your angle by moving your body a little bit more to the right to change your angle through the target. Now, if you throw a hook ball, this also works, but for a much different reason, and it has to do with the conditions on the lane. So the oil's in the middle of the lane somewhere on the typical house shot, and it's dry toward the right for the righties, the left for the lefties. So the reason this works for you hook players is because if you throw the ball and it's in too much oil and it slides again, missing light of the pocket, you've got to move right to actually get where there's less oil or more friction so your ball can hook. Okay, so let's take a look at Ryan attempting to find where the oil line is so that he gets his ball to hook the proper amount. On this shot, he's going to look somewhere around the second arrow, and you're going to see that his ball just slid too long, finishing light. So because there's more oil in the center of the lane, he knows he needs to move somewhere to the right to get the ball to have more friction to grab and hook. So on the next shot, Ryan's going to move over to the right, both he and his target, to try to find where the oil lets up and the friction begins. So he's going to stand further to the right. He's going to target between first and second arrows. And there you can see the ball picked up its roll because it was thrown in more friction so the ball could hook. So in the first example, he missed right and moved. On the second example, to the right to make the correction. So we just saw an excellent demonstration of having to move right to get out of the oil to allow the ball to hook again. Now it works the same way. If you miss left, move left. And that would be if the ball hooked too much, you'd have to move left to get into some oil in order to get it to slide the appropriate amount again to hit the pocket. A lot of people live and die by second arrow, but it's important to note that that may not be where you need to play on the lane because the oil may actually be a little wider or not wide enough to end up at second arrow. So it's important that when there's a wider amount of oil that you are able to get yourself to move right a little bit closer to the gutter. And frankly, a lot of people don't do this because it's outside their comfort zone. So I really encourage you to expand your comfort zone to be able to play different targets on your strike ball so that you can adjust to the lane. It's been a privilege to help you with these tips. I would love to help you more. You can visit yourbowlingcoach.com for more information on my books or to schedule your private lesson.
Thanks, Michelle. We'll bring you coaching tips and techniques every month here on Bowling Showcase, so keep watching to improve your game. Now it's time to take a little break, but stick around. There's a lot more bowling action coming up next on Bowling Showcase. The Michigan State USBC Women's Bowling Association provides recognition and tournament competition to all levels of women bowlers. Competition includes the Women's State Tournament, this year in Waterford, the State Queens in Mount Pleasant, and the Midwest Women's Tournament in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Recognition includes first-time 300 game and first-time 6, 7, and 800 series. Visit MichiganWBA.com for entries for these tournaments and more information on women's bowling. Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at MDUSBC.com. Welcome back. Now let's head over to the east side where the very best senior bowlers participated in the State Senior Masters Tournament at Astro Lanes in Madison Heights. Take it away. Mike Calvin of Warren won the 10th annual Michigan State Senior Masters Tournament at Astro Lanes in Madison Heights when he defeated Ken Wyatt of Sterling Heights 435 to 423 in the 2-game total pins match. Calvin was seeded 7th in the field of 68 bowlers with a 6-game score of 1270. He stayed in the winner's bracket by beating Bo Gergen of Sanford 429 to 356, Joe Krajewski of Clinton Township 512 to 416, John Gormastik of Westland 373 to 367, and Wyatt the first time, 445 to 370. Wyatt, he was seeded 5th with 1277, started match play by defeating Steve Teedle of Albion 379 to 337. Ted Hannas of Reynoldsburg, Ohio 410 to 400. And William Froberg of St. Joseph 378 to 345 before losing his match to Calvin and being knocked into the loser's bracket. In the loser's bracket, Wyatt once again beat Ted Hannas 434 to 368 to fight his way out of the bracket and challenge Calvin for the top prize. In the final match, both Calvin and Wyatt bowled steady, each man adjusting to the lanes and bowling with confidence. Being a double elimination tournament, Wyatt had the daunting task of trying to beat Calvin twice to win the title. Nevertheless, Calvin was not about to let Wyatt have that chance and bowled well enough to stay ahead of the pin count. In the end, Calvin edged out Wyatt 435 to 423 to win the $1,800 first prize and claim the title of 2018 Michigan State Senior Masters Champion. Okay, I'm here with the champion of the Michigan State Senior Masters, Mike Calvin. Mike, you qualified 7th, and you just kind of ran through the field in match play. What's your analysis of it?
Equipment. I made a nice ball change there, and I was able to play inside. Not many were there, and I believe that created an advantage for me.
Well, again, you qualified great. You bowled great yesterday in qualifying all the way through match play. I don't know what your final average was, but great performance.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate people here at Asheville Lanes and the Metro Detroit United States Bowling Congress. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, congratulations, and how about coming back next month and bowl against the kids?
I think I'm going to.
Good. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Mark.
Congratulations to Mike Calvin for his impressive series of wins to claim the Michigan State Senior Masters title. What an impressive display of bowling. You can watch the entire winning matches from every event this episode, every strike, spare, and frame, unedited at MDUSBC.com or on our YouTube channel. And if you want more in-depth bowling coverage, helpful articles and tips, be sure to pick up your free copy of the Bowling Showcase News, free at your local bowling center. Now, we've come to the end of this month's show. We'd like to hear from you, so send us your comments or contact us at bowlingshowcase@gmail.com and let us know what you think. Remember, join our Facebook page and YouTube channel to keep up with all our Bowling Showcase news and videos, and make sure you check our YouTube channel for unedited complete final matches from the season's biggest tournaments. And of course, you can watch rebroadcasts of this show and more at MDUSBC.com. We'll see you next time on Bowling Showcase.